StarCraft fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another Legacy of the Void series! This is a best of 5 between ByuN and Stats, starting on Newkirk Precinct. In the bottom right side of the map, we have our blue Protoss player. It is Stats, a fan favorite of many Protoss players everywhere on Earth. And in the bottom left side of the map, we have the red Terran player. It is ByuN. Nothing needs to be said about ByuN. He is just Terran incarnate, is what this guy is. Oh, I forgot I can do this thing. I forgot how to turn it on. Oh, there it is. I got it. Okay, best of 5 up. Again, super thanks to that guy with the blizzard.com address for helping me through Reddit and getting this working again. I mean, this really helps for these series casts. Been a while since I've had one of these. I mean, basically, the last major tournament was Nation Wars, and there just aren't really, like, best of 5, best of 7 series in Nation Wars. At least not that I can tell. I mean, it's teams versus teams, and it's, like, knockouts and all kills and things. It's really kind of hard for me to do in this format, but a best of 5, very clear to everybody, very clear to me what's going on, and here we are. So, again, PvT currently in Legacy of the Void. Well, actually, this is on the not the latest patch, but the one before that latest patch, and Terran is just a terror for Protoss. I mean, there are a lot of complaints, actually some complaints both ways about how good Photon Overcharge is from Protoss, but otherwise it's just Widowmine drops and Marine drops and Cyclone stuff, and Protoss are just feeling a little put upon in this matchup, but we'll see. We'll see how this works out. ByuN is actually going Reaper here. And remember how I always say that Reapers just don't really make a lot of sense in TVP? ByuN says, Falcon Paladin, I don't like your attitude. I don't like what you're saying about this. I'm going to go Reaper against Stats of all players. Like, not just against someone he meets on the ladder, the GM ladder one day. No. This is Stats. This is a scary dude that ByuN is going Reaper against. So here he goes, moving out. This Reaper's name is the Black Raven. He flies or floats across the battlefield like a bird looking for prey. He waits for the perfect moment and strikes like a snake. He dies and returns like a demon. He is the Black Raven. All right, Black Raven, you're being controlled by ByuN. That is pretty much the best luck you can ever have as a Reaper in StarCraft 2 these days. Pylon getting thrown up by Stats on this low ground. Mothership Core should be heading across now. Is this just a fake out? Is this just to make ByuN freak out and say there is a Mothership Core coming? I must take this pylon down immediately. Maybe pull some SCVs to make it happen. Probe is trying to kill the SCV building. This command center almost kills it. One more shot. Gets the kill. Another SCV does continue building the command center, but the Black Raven still doing stuff, man. No kills, but knocking probes around, getting chased by this. Oh, getting chased by the Adept and does survive. Are you kidding? Oh, the control gets a probe kill. Brr, Black Raven is so on fire right now. Adept really wants this thing dead. And one more shot. Nope. Oh, ByuN. Yes, it does happen. Yes, it does end up happening. It does get taken out by the Adept. A bit of a lack of concentration there by ByuN, actually, which is really a little bit weird. Regardless, the command center is done for ByuN. It's upgraded to an orbital command. Marines are taking down this pylon. Again, Mothership Core is nowhere near this area, so this has just got to be, it's a mental game. Out of Stats. It's gone now anyway. Pylon is totally toast. Oracle coming up here from Stats. We use our Oracle name list. Holy smokes, a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff going on here. A lot of naming in this early game. There are some Adepts wandering up into the natural base of ByuN. Let's see how much damage they can do. And the answer is there's a Cyclone, so not much. Not much, if you had to ask me. This Oracle's name, where is the Oracle? Oracle's name, swooping on in to get some kills, is McDonald Burger. After many Terran finally realized the Protoss McDonald burgers were actually low quality for them and just knocking down everything. Lock on from the Cyclone is here to get rid of this Oracle. The Oracle does escape. They discovered that McDonald burgers were actually low quality and bad for them. They decided to boycott the burgers. When the Protoss found out, they fused their burgers together into an Oracle that would mac down the Terran with at least 7 kills. Once the Oracle reaches this goal, the Terran will be scared into buying their burgers again, giving the Protoss more of an edge against the OP Terran, even though some Terran always wanted to buy the burgers anyway. So up to 3 kills at this point. A bit of a drop getting shut down here by Stats, killing that medevac. ByuN's Marines are forced to walk on back home without any air support whatsoever. How are these guys doing? They don't have combat shield or stim, but ByuN doesn't need those things. He doesn't need those things to make it work against the Protoss player. Stats' third nexus is actually just about to complete here to the left of his natural. Incredible play. Incredible play there by Stats. He is macroing hard. It's 35 to 37 harvesters. Stats has a tiny lead, but having that third base with that third chrono boost is going to help him immensely in this situation. We do have a bunch of Phoenix moving out. That's what killed that medevac earlier. With McDonald, the Oracle, again, needs 7 kills. Is it enough? Oh, there's a Viking and Marines in the main base. Not a good spot for Phoenix and this Oracle to be in. We'll see if they go in. I mean, at this point, they're trying to keep ByuN pinned inside his base, right? At the very least, the Marines and the Viking won't move out if they think Phoenix and an Oracle are going to move in after them. So just making sure that his presence is known, trying to find some things to pick off, and the Viking gets a shot off there, pulling back. Pulling back again. Stats doing extremely well here. Twilight Council and a Forge on the way for Stats. Did I not have a production tab up that entire time? Did I not have that up? Gotta sit back from the screen maybe a little bit. That is not exactly directly in my field of view. And sometimes I have to make an effort to see it, obviously. Anyway, Revelation tossed down by McDonald here on pretty much the entirety of ByuN's army. I guess these 2 Marines don't have Revelation on them, but most of it does. Most of the army does. And another Phoenix coming in for Stats. Resonating Glaives on the way. He could be going for the very popular Phoenix Adept play. That is very good against Terran. And we see a lot of the high-level Protoss players attempt to use to kill their Terran opponent. We'll see how it works out. We'll see how it works out. There's a Viking out here just trying to get shots off on these Vikings. Just doesn't kill them very quickly as they're not big, they're not armored, they don't take that extra damage like a battle cruiser or a carrier would. So again, the Phoenix are not too worried about the Viking. It's just the range and kind of just the general poking around that causes problems. 2 Widow Mines here in this area that Stats might want to fly into. Another Revelation thrown down. ByuN doesn't care. ByuN does not care about your Revelation. He's going to move out anyway. Even if the Protoss army can see where he is and what he's doing, he's moving across the map. And by that I mean he is actually stopping before he moves out across the map. No, he is! No, he is. +1 attack is about 12 seconds from completing. I think he wants to get there as soon as possible. Some Liberators here from ByuN as well, trying to sneak on in here to this third base of Stats. 2 pylons are here for Photon Overcharge. Where is your Mothership Core, Stats? Has it been doing anything in this game? Do you not have one? Holy crap! Oh, no, he does. He does. Where is it? Oh, it's here. It is here. There's the double Photon Overcharge. The Marines taking down 1 pylon and 2 pylons very quickly. Very quickly. This base is in a huge amount of trouble. A ton of Marines are here with +1 attack, with Stim, and the Cyclone as well, lending some DPS. Liberators setting up a circle where the Adepts do not want to go, and the third base is taken down easily by ByuN. Sorry, production tab back up again. Combat shield on the way. Adepts do finish their transfer right on top of these units. Widow Mines firing! Oh, the Phoenix try to take down the Liberators, and they get the Liberators, trying to get the Viking at the same time, lifting up Marines, and the medevacs will be easy pickings once these Marines are gone. Look at these Phoenix go! Oh, the revenge of Stats is sweet. Here comes the car chase. I mean, the Phoenix and medevac chase, moving across the map. Oh no, the medevacs, their boost runs out, and are both of them going to die? One more couple of volleys. Oh no, Liberators are here in anti-air mode. Doing splash damage and extra, nope, just splash damage against those Phoenix. Not extra versus light anymore. It's been a while, brain. Quit trying to trick me into thinking this is even older than it is. 2 Widow Mines remain here for ByuN, just outside of Stats' attempt to replant this third Nexus. And what do we got here? Again, Marines, Widow Mines. Again, that's kind of what Terran do, is they bring the Marines, they bring the Liberators, they bring the medevacs, and then Widow Mines in amongst everybody else. So when the Adepts warp on top of them, they get hit by the Widow Mines, take a ton of damage, splash damage on them, and there aren't as many Adepts left over to kill what remains of the Terran army. So, I mean, yes, you take some friendly fire damage, but it is better than not having those Widow Mines at all in that situation. At least ByuN seems to think so, and I'm not going to question him on that. Possibly going to go for a 4th base here as Stats. ByuN's still on 2 bases, man. He has not expanded. He went for that 2-base attack. It wasn't quite an all-in, I would say, but the longer this goes without taking a third, the more all-in-y it is. Another Revelation tossed down on this Terran army, moving from left to right across the map here. We've got Adepts, so many Adepts on the ground. +1 attack and Resonating Glaives is done. ByuN retreating. He's coming all the way back here. Phoenix and Adepts going for this thing. Adepts do finish the transfer right on top of everything. Phoenix waltz on in, trying to kill what is remaining in the air. Only 3 Phoenix remaining, trying to kill this Liberator. The Adepts don't care if they're getting shot at by Liberators, as they are dying very quickly anyway, and the Adepts surviving that encounter extremely well. I think maybe because, were there any Widow Mines in that group? I don't know, but the 3rd base does get landed by ByuN. Adepts trying to knock it down. Not very good against buildings, but nevertheless still here. Adepts trying to sonic transfer in a place that makes sense for them, and they cancel the transfers. They can't find the place that really works So we are at 3 base to 3 base, 52 to 58 total harvesters resources lost, 5,000 for the Terran and 5,000 for the Protoss. Pretty even. Pretty even that way. Adepts trying to get inside the natural, but good supply depot wall there keeps them from getting in as they cannot transfer through buildings. Excellent, excellent job there by Stats. So Liberators setting up defender mode circles around this 3rd base, protecting it with their very lives, if necessary. Checking to see if there's a 4th base up here. Are these Adepts for Stats? No, ByuN has the 3. He's got the 3. I don't see another command center in progress, but he might just lift off his main orbital command when it comes time for that 4th base. We'll see. We will see. A warp prism loaded with Adepts is coming on down to the bottom side of the map. Might try to sneak inside the main. There is a missile turret and a Widowmine there waiting for this to happen, though. Well placed by ByuN. Phoenix and Oracle throwing down Revelation. The Oracle throwing down Revelation, not the Phoenix. And there we go. Warp prism dead. Walked into the missile turret and Widowmine combination. Marauders taking out the Adepts here. 7 SCVs died, though. What is... Oh, Adepts walking into the natural base as well. 7 SCVs killed. Coming in is ByuN to this 3rd base. He wants revenge for losing those workers. Adepts say, you know what? Fine. You want it? Let's do this thing. Adepts actually just psionic transferring past ByuN's army and then coming back on in. Got Immortals, got Stalkers mixed in now as well. It is suddenly looking very good for the Protoss player. Adepts, there are a lot of Adepts. Marauders here, they don't really care. Sonic transfer canceled once again on the high ground. Here is Stats with +1/+1 complete. The Liberators sniping down everything that gets inside those circles, even just the tiniest bit, like that Stalker. Adepts moving in and canceling the transfer. Just information gathering to see what exactly is coming in from the Terran players. Stalkers and Immortals and Sentries are here. Another Revelation. ByuN says, you can see me, I don't care. I don't really care. I'm sieging your 3rd base. Adepts walking into ByuN's 3rd base, though. He doesn't see this. So many SCVs are going to die. The big time battle over here at the 3rd base of Stats. Widowmine's not firing as Stats refuses to get in range of those Widowmines along the back end of ByuN's army. Now moving up to the front a little bit more closely. 3rd base is locked down. ByuN's 3rd is toast. He's lost 19 SCVs. Try to get inside the main, but nope, locked off from that happening. Adepts trying to deal with these Marauders, but not very good against armored units, as it turns out. Another attack by ByuN up at the front, lifting the Widowmines as Stats Liberator modes are down and circles are ready to go. Stats going in there anyway, taking the damage, trying to focus down the Liberators as best he can. He gets the Liberators. ByuN is retreating with a handful of Marauders and Marines. It is 64 to 30 Harvesters. ByuN is holding hard right now. Adepts trying to pick off as many of these Marines as they can here at the 3rd base of ByuN. Mules are called down. ByuN is not dead yet, you guys. We've seen Terran players lose this many SCVs and absolutely win, and especially if they are as good as ByuN happens to be. 4th base done for Stats north of his natural. And we got the Stalker Immortal group. 3 kills on this Immortal. Sentries for force fields as required. And ByuN somehow has another giant army. I don't know how he does this. His macro is just really good. Really, really good. He just doesn't stop. He doesn't stop macroing is what it is. On these 3 bases. Pretty awesome. 2 Liberators here. Stalkers trying to blink their way out of those circles. Immortal gets caught. Not murdered, though. Photon overcharges come up a little bit early for Stats, and circles are up. Stats does not care. He's going for it again. Adepts here inside the 3rd base of ByuN, killing 11 more SCVs. ByuN is down to 24 SCVs, but he's very heavy on Marauders. He's got +2/+2 on those. +2 armors up for the ground units for Stats, but only +1 attack is complete. Void Ray on the way for Stats, transitioning a little bit into Sky Toss. I'm not sure he's planning on going there entirely at this point, but both players taking a bit of a breath. A Hellbat transforms here in ByuN's army here at the 3rd base of Stats, and again, another big, massive Marauder attack for ByuN. He does have 4 Marines and a bunch of Widowmines. So many Widowmines. 8 Widowmines in this army. The problem is friendly fire is a thing. The Adepts are not going to be part of this battle. They're psionic transferring somewhere, and some of them do manage to come all the way back to this 3rd base. They're waltzing right through this Liberator circle, Defender circle. They don't care. Okay, they do care, as they lost one of their units there. And heading up north to check to see if there's a 4th base up for ByuN. There's not, which is a good feeling for Stats right now. 168 to 125 total supply. Stats has the lead. He's got an Archon. He's got a bunch of Immortals on the ground right now. 4 of them. I mean, it's not like a million, but it's 4. But it is 4 Adepts trying to see. Oh, ByuN is trying to land an orbital command up here on this base north of the natural. Can he get it? Where is this? Is this his main? Yep, that's his main. That's his main, lifting and heading on over that way. As predicted earlier, that would be something that could very possibly happen. Adepts killing more SCVs that came up a little bit early before that 4th base even landed, and two of them get killed by Adepts. The Adepts retreat as they recognize the army's going to be very mad. For ByuN, Stats has his 4 bases. He's working on Templar. He's working on Storm. He's working on +2 ground weapons and more Archons and Void Rays. He's got a lot of stuff here. Guardian Shield is up, moving right through the circles. There are 2 Liberators here, a bunch of Marauders. The Immortals just tearing through those Marauders like they're not even there. Void Rays destroying everything as well. A couple of Widowmine shots. Stats is up 168 to 100 total supply. ByuN is in full retreat right now, pulling back to his 3rd base while trying to establish his 4th base. A single Liberator in the air for ByuN. No, another one shows up to assist here at the 3rd. Can he hold this thing? Can he hold this thing is the question of the day. We've got, again, the Archons with +3 armor, which doesn't help them very much. Void Rays trying to pick stuff off. An observer for Stats has actually been observing this 3rd base of ByuN for a long time. And ByuN, I mean, he doesn't know. He hasn't killed it. A small drop from ByuN here at the 3rd base, or 4th base of Stats, gets shooed away by Adepts. Stats is not forgetting to defend his home turf while he sets up this siege. And going right for it, walking through these Liberators, taking them both out so easily. A Storm down as well. Force Field's trapping some of the units for ByuN on the wrong side of the tracks there. SCV's coming to defend at the same time. It is just not working. Immortals tearing 7 kills, 8 kills, 5 kills, and ByuN, GG's out. ByuN is defeated, and Stats takes game number 1 to take a 1-0 lead on ByuN in this series. Did not see that coming. Didn't see it coming. That was, I mean, Stats dealt with direct pressure from ByuN for it feels like the entire game, right? He just had an army outside his 3rd base. He lost it once even, did not phase him, replanted it, got his 4th base up, continued to harass at ByuN's 3rd base and natural base, mostly there, getting 63 SCV kills. If you can kill 63 of ByuN's SCVs and lose 6 of your own workers, you might have a chance of beating him. You might have a chance. Again, the upgrades were good. The composition was good. Archons and Immortals versus those Marauders, with the Archons doing that extra damage at the same time. I mean, it was masterful. Stats takes the 1-0 lead in this best-of-5 series, and we'll be back with game number 2 in just a second. Welcome back, StarCraft fans, to this best-of-5 between Stats and ByuN from Katowice 2017. As you know, Stats leads the series 1-0. And here we are on Cactus Valley. In the top left side of the map, we have the red Terran player, ByuN. And in the bottom right side of the map, we have the blue Protoss player. It is Stats. All right, very good here. PVT best-of-5 series at the highest of high levels of StarCraft 2. Just a wonderful, wonderful experience for all involved thus far. Will not spoil who wins this series. I do know, because I looked for a series that was pretty good. And let's get right on into this. Gateway first, out of Stats. I'm going to assume Barracks first. There we go. Out of ByuN, there's the Barracks landing at the top of his ramp, leading down to his natural. And probe scouting is Stats. Let's follow this probe past a cactus. It is Cactus Valley, after all. Lots of sand and dirt and rocks and lots of brown. And not my favorite palette of maps in StarCraft 2, but pretty darn interesting to look at. Little sections of rocks, little weeds. It is a 4-player map, so Stats scouting the bottom left corner first, which is exactly where not ByuN is, but hopefully it doesn't go cross spawns from here. No, he is going right to where ByuN is in the top left corner. Let's see if this is a Reaper coming out. ByuN had very, very much success. A lot of success with his Reaper, actually. Want to get 2 probe kills, maybe 1 more. It's another Reaper. All right, this Reaper's name is Eric the Half-a-Reaper. I don't know why he's half a Reaper or what this is a reference to, but Eric the Half-a-Reaper woke up one morning, got some training done in his barracks, and his commander said, go forth and destroy the enemy. And Eric the Half-Reaper was like, what up? Who am I going against? A Protoss player. Oh, no. Oh, no, said Eric the Half-Reaper, and it's Stats, said his commander. And Eric was like, all right, I don't feel good about anything you just said. But, said his commander, you will be controlled by ByuN. All right, Eric the Half-Reaper said, all right, I feel better about this. I feel better about the situation, absolutely. Maybe I will live. Maybe I'll even live throughout this game. No guarantees. No guarantees there, but it is very, very possible indeed. Natural base coming up for ByuN. Natural on the way for Stats as well. Stats did not try to harass that SCV building the command center on the low ground. just send his probe back home instead. All right, Reaper checking that bottom left corner, not there. Checking the center's on like a watchtower, and does not see any Protoss there either. Oh, he does go cross spawns. This is interesting. ByuN does not just go to the bottom right corner. He goes all the way from the bottom left to the top right, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but in just my general preference of how I do things here is I don't question ByuN. So he knows, at least now he knows where the Protoss player is in the bottom right. Is he going to go there or not? I don't know. He's going to tap that Zolnga Watchtower again just briefly and then head to the bottom right. Mothership Core on the way for stats. Robotics Facility coming up very early as well here. Widow Mines and a Starport coming in for ByuN. Possibly Widow Mine drops, would not be surprised whatsoever. An Adept here and Reaper going for it anyway. Moving inside this main base, if just for the scout. Oh, there are 2 Adepts out. Run! Run, Eric Half Reaper. He's toast. There he is. Flies into the air and gets exploded. Sometimes not even being controlled by ByuN is enough to save you in a TVP situation. So Reaper dead, really just, I mean, gets a nice scout off, sees the early robo facility, sees the number of gateways, sees the double gas. I mean, nothing out of the ordinary here necessarily, but does get the information that he needs. Stats goes for double assimilator at his natural pretty early here, about 3 minutes and 40 seconds. I wonder if it's planning on going for Dark Templar possibly going for Stargate, something that needs a lot of gas. And here comes our drop. A Widow Mine with 6 Marines heading out under 4 minutes for ByuN. Just the timings are so fast and so crisp. At this level of StarCraft 2, Widow Mine burrowing itself at the Zolnga Watchtower. Cannot hold the tower while it's burrowed, as you can see. But if anybody comes up here to tap it, especially probes, especially Adepts, they will take a face full of Widow Mine shot and be murdered. Observer moving out for stats. Gonna see what is up here at ByuN's side of the map here. And here comes our drop from ByuN. Very, very patient. Gonna use his boost when he can. There it is. There's the boost. Stalkers and Adepts waiting for this, though. Just waiting for ByuN to come in on that left side. And ByuN doesn't even try to drop. He doesn't even give it a shot there. Observer waltzes into the main base of ByuN unopposed. There are a couple Marines. Is that enough to kill this with a scan? I don't know. The other Observer doesn't want to stick around and see if that's the case. Robotics Facility just finishing, and Colossus. Stats going Colossus in a PvT in Legacy of the Void against ByuN. This is interesting. We've seen Colossus work fairly well on the channel recently against Terran, but not at this high level of pro. Dropping down the Widow Mine here on just the northish side of Stats main. Widow Mine has nothing to kill, but the Marines really want to get that Robotics Facility to die. Marines shooting it down. Stalkers and Adepts coming up as fast as they can. The Widow Mine... What the heck was that? Hold on. Did the Widow Mine fire on his own units? Quick rewind. Marines unload. Widow Mine is here. Nothing to target fire on, right? Obviously not. Oh, a probe! Oh, did Stats do that on purpose? I think Stats walked a probe up next to the Marines so the Widow Mine would fire on the Marines and weaken them and get ByuN the heck out of there. That was incredible! That was absolutely genius out of Stats. I've never seen anything like that. That was Stats. My hero, Stats. All right, so pulling back to the Zolnga Watchtower, a lot of these Marines are almost dead, down to 5 hit points, 11 hit points. Widow Mine's hurt really bad, and they can do really good damage against Marines, because again, friendly fire is something that's an option here with Widow Mines, and by an option, I mean it always happens. Extended Thermal Lance on the way from Stats. Might as well get that if you're getting Colossus. No one's going to tell you not to get Extended Thermal Lance. That range upgrade is extremely useful. And a Twilight Council being warped in as well for Stats. So ByuN, I mean, that was not great. That was not a great experience for him. He killed a probe that Stats sacrificed. It is 52 to 48 Harvesters. Stats is going for a third Nexus here, just to the up and left of his main. Another attempt of the Marines to come back down here with this medevac and attack the natural base of Stats, but there are 3 Stalkers here, and ByuN backs out. He just pokes in, sees what's up, and leaves. No big deal. There are tanks and Marines. A tank Marine medevac push coming up the middle. I think ByuN's going to try to drop at the back while Stats is dealing with the attack at the front here. It is a very standard and effective tactic for Terrans and has been throughout most of StarCraft 2. So here we go. Colossus and Stalkers with sentries. See what's coming here. They see this. They see the tanks. They see the Marines. Marauder count needs to increase here. Double pumping Marauders is ByuN. Again, just because Marines are pretty terrible against Colossus, you need Marauders or Vikings or something like that to deal with them. And the tanks also pretty good in that situation. So what do we got? We do have this medevac just hanging out. Third base is now under construction for ByuN. Same spot, opposite side of the map that Stats has. Colossus have their extended thermal lance. No attack upgrades are on the way. Stats is pretty happy to remain unupgraded at this point. Getting a Warp Prism, getting Resonating Glaives, getting Adepts. A couple Zealots in here as well for stats. I don't think they have charge, but they're just mostly there to absorb damage, I think is what they're all about. Another drop by ByuN coming down this top side. And, oh, there's a pylon to scout this, but a little bit too late. And unloading inside the main base is ByuN. Photon Overcharge trying to kill one of these medevacs. No, getting out of the range. And Mothership Core trying to kill a Widowmine. Photon Overcharge taking out the Widowmine and forcing ByuN to retreat. Drop coming into the natural base now. While the cat's away, the mice will play. The Marines getting right inside this mineral line and taking out a couple probes very, very quickly there. Meanwhile, another attack from ByuN coming to the third base. Everybody gathering up on this third. The natural base is being locked down. No, cleaned out with Colossus and Stalkers. Tanks on the ground trying to get murdered here by these Zealots, and they do get destroyed. Third base defended adequately by stats. They're dropping inside the main, though. ByuN and knocking back around. Colossus trying to kill what it can. Is up to 5 kills. Adepts and Stalkers trying to assist at the same time, picking up and getting out of there for what feels like the 4th time is ByuN. He's just not willing to overcommit. He's going to do damage, make nice trades that help him in the long run, and then back out. So resources lost here, about 1,600 for the Terran and about 1,500 for the Protoss. Stalkers trying to kill these medevacs as they retreat. Marines and Marauders dropping to cover that retreat of those medevacs. And here's a Warp Prism full of Adepts sneaking in to the natural base of ByuN. So Warp Prism trying to land. Adepts landing back there, going after SCVs. ByuN does have Marines and Marauders here to try to stop this thing. Stats pushing up the middle of the map here with Adepts in the front with Resonating Glaives to Colossus. 1 kill on that Colossus. Did that one Colossus die? No Colossuses have died. Where is the one? Oh, here we go. Here's our third one. And 7 kills on that Colossus. Adepts going to town here inside the main base of ByuN is killing SCVs. Again, trying to be stopped here by a couple units, but it's not enough. Big time attack here at the third. Colossus just unopposed. Adepts absorbing a lot of the damage by these Marines and these Marauders, but no pulling back is ByuN. There are still Adepts just going to town on ByuN's natural base. They're killing stuff in his main base. Vikings in desperation forced to land and deal with these Adepts. It should be enough with the Marauder support here, but that's 32 dead SCVs for stats. The triple-pronged attack doing so well. SCVs again coming to defend this third base. The Colossus are just on fire right now. One does get killed. 11 kills on that Colossus. Both Colossus die at the same time, and somehow ByuN manages to clean that thing up, but he's lost 38 SCVs at 61 to 30 Harvesters. Stats is warping in additional units. Sentries and Adepts, first of all, going for a 4th Nexus. The counterattack by ByuN here. He knows he's lost a ton of stuff. He knows he's lost 38 SCVs in this game. He's probably doubled up by stats. He knows stats is expanding. He's coming. He needs to win now. I think ByuN needs to win now. Some Adepts come into the third base, going after more of these SCVs. Poor SCVs forced to retreat. ByuN falling further and further behind in the economic game right now. ByuN fans have got to be just clenching their teeth at this, just not quite sure what is going on with their Terran player. He is just about to be down 2 games to 0 here in a best of 5, which is not where you want to be. His army is here with Vikings, Marines, and Marauders. +1/+1 done on those dudes. This 4th base might just straight up fall. Stats cancels both the Nexus and the Pylon here, and pushing in is ByuN. There are only Stalkers, Adepts, and Sentries here. I don't know if this is enough. I'd really like to see some Disruptors. A Colossus is on the way for stats, but is it going to be enough? I don't know. I can't tell you if that is. Additional units coming down from the north to the south to meet up with the army. ByuN pulling back to a much, much safer location. I still think, killing that 4th was a big deal. It was very useful, but I still think he needs to do more here. Dark Shrine on the way for stats, +2 ground weapons being researched. Stats does have the +1/+1 now. Upgrades panel, Blink is done. Resonating Glaives, Combat Shield, nope, yes, Combat Shield and Concussive Shell done for ByuN with +1/+1 results. Guardian Shield is up. Disruptor is here with Colossus, tearing apart everything. The Disruptor is not shooting quite yet and actually gets killed before it even gets a shot off. Stats a little bit careless, bringing it up to the front here. Viking gets destroyed. Medevacs getting destroyed at the same time. Adepts waltzing into this third base again, just trying to destroy mules. At the very least, getting mules out of there, which counts as lost mining time. Taking his 4th base up and to the north of his third base here is stats, replanting that 4th. He wants it. He wants that 4th to make use of his 60 Harvesters. More Disruptors on the way. Dark Shrine just about to complete. Out of stats. I think that's going to be for Archons. I don't think we're going to see DTs against ByuN. He's just too smart Too smart to dodge DTs. He's got scans available, and he can use them if he needs to. Liberator's now here for ByuN, a little bit late. Feeling like it's a little bit late to the party, but going it down anyway. Does he know about that fourth base? He doesn't know about that fourth base that's coming up on the right side of the map. He did check to see if the fourth got replanted where it was canceled initially, and no, it's not there. So Marines and Marauders show up to take it down. There's nothing there to kill, which means, yes, Liberators do poke in and scout that base. There it is. They see the fourth. They see the fourth, the Marines and the Marauders coming up and around to try to take that Nexus down while attacking in, possibly to this natural base. Some units heading to everybody heading out to defend that fourth, leaving the natural base completely undefended. Meanwhile, Adepts sneaking into the natural base and the third base of ByuN. The fourth base is finished, but it's under direct assault with Liberator support. Marines and Marauders walking in to the natural base, killing, denying ground weapons level 2 and ground armor level 2. Can he get it before it finishes? I don't know. Adepts locking down the third base. Natural base is a complete cluster right now. The main base is even losing SCVs, but it is coming down to both forges are dead. Marines and Marauders waltzing into the main base of Stats here, coming into the third with Marines and Marauders. Disruptor gets picked off from distance before it can even get a shot off there as well, and suddenly this is turning into something of a base race. Main base is completely devoid of SCVs right now. Natural base has a whole lot of SCVs. Third base trying to be replanted as well. Marines and Marauders going after this third. DTs. Stats does use DTs, but they do get scanned and killed immediately. Going for it is Stats. 5 kills on that Colossus. Everybody, his entire army getting destroyed here. They're ByuN with the +1/+1, taking down the Colossus, getting rid of the Stalkers. Some Adepts and Stalkers are coming in trying to deal with this massive Terran army. They are low on health, but it doesn't really matter. More Adepts coming in for Stats. Photon Overcharge coming up. The Pylon dies immediately. This is coming down to the very, very last few units here for both of these players. The third base does explode, and Stats, GG's out. Stats is defeated, and ByuN is victorious. ByuN, let's get that one up there. Let's get that one up there for ByuN, tying the series up after losing 57 SCVs and 38 in the first 10 minutes, where Stats lost virtually nothing in those first 10 minutes. Stats doing so much damage to ByuN, but it's just not enough. It is not enough against good Terran players, and never has been, just to kill most of their SCVs. You got to take care of their army. You got to be able to defend against with what they bring to kill you. Fourth base taken down, third base taken down, other fourth base denied. Stats was down to 2 bases. I mean, what did he have left there? 4 Adepts. I mean, ByuN had 15 Marines and 12 Marauders. His army wasn't massive by any stretch of the imagination, but it was enough. It was enough. I mean, look at this. Units lost here. What do we got? 68 Adepts died, 24 Stalkers in exchange for 68 Marines, 33 Marauders, 2 Liberators, a Medevac, 3 Vikings. Our resources lost in numerical terms. We got 23,000. Nope, that's not 20. That is actually 12 or 13,000 lost for the Terran and 21,000 lost for Stats. Yep. That will tell the story every single time. All right, so tied up. Let's go into game number 3 here between these two incredible players in just a second. Welcome back, StarCraft fans, to this best of 5 between ByuN and Stats. Game number 3 will be here on Proxima Station, the Ladder Edition. In the bottom left side of Proxima Station, we have the red Terran player. It is ByuN. And in the top right side of the map, as the ominous music begins in the background, is our blue Protoss player, Stats, who has played about as well as you can against ByuN in a PvT right now in StarCraft 2, winning game 1. I mean, not handily. He fought, he struggled, he made it work, and then in game 2, killing so many SCVs, but it's just not enough. It just wasn't enough. I mean, I feel like I'd be pretty disheartened if I was Stats in the situation where you played so well in game number 2, murdering over half of ByuN's economy, shutting down his bases multiple times, and still ended up losing. That's just... But you know what? He's lost before. Stats has experienced that. He knows what to do. He knows to pick yourself up, brush off the loss like it didn't happen, and come into game number 3 like it's a brand new series. Because it is. It's a best of 3 series now, both players having won 1 of the previous 2 games. So both players are going Gateway and Barracks first here. No crazy Command Center first, no crazy Nexus first here. These players respect each other way too much to do that sort of shenaniganry here at this highest level of StarCraft 2. I did forget to mention, this is the quarterfinals of the final of Katowice 2017. So, I mean, these players have beat a lot of people to get here. Specifically, let's take a look. Let's see who has Stats beat Inertio to get here in a best of 5 series in the round of 12. Who did ByuN play? Did ByuN just get in? ByuN might have just gotten in from the previous round. It looks like he did. Looks like he cut a bye in the best in the round of 12. So, yeah, that's how good he's been playing in Katowice. So, no surprise, he won that game number 2. Expansion on the way for ByuN. Expansion on the way for Stats. Nothing too crazy between these players. Again, another Reaper. Another Reaper for ByuN coming out here. And again, he's had success. So I don't know why he'd stop doing it. It's just I got to stop being surprised, I think, by seeing this. This Reaper's name is going to be Tim, a.k.a. Tim the Enchanter. Is that the name? Is that the name of the wizard in Monty Python and the Quest for the Holy Grail? Is it Tim? It sounds very familiar that it would be that. It's also a very silly name for a wizard, which is very much Monty Python's kind of thing, is silliness. So moving out is our Reaper. Coming into the main base of Stats, seeing an Adept running for his life. Adepts are bad. Adepts hit so hard. They 3-shot Reapers, plus they have the Sonic Transfer, which means they're as faster than Reapers. Temporarily, from time to time, they are faster. Right now, they're not, but watch when that shade comes out as Stats decides to chase this Reaper down. Tim the Enchanter has enchanted a ring of +2 defense to wear today against the Protoss, but it's not enough. It is not going to be enough to save his life. One shot by the Adept, and getting up there, getting out of range of the Adept. Is it enough? No, 2 Adepts are here, and boom! Tim the Enchanter manages to scout the robotics facility that Stats has made, and that's about it. So, all right, good scout there, Tim the Enchanter. Not as effective as the first 2 Reapers in this series, but again, one moderate failure does not mean he should give up on that strategy. Cyclone on the way for ByuN. Did this in game number 1, not in game number 2 at all. Don't remember seeing any Cyclones in the last one I just cast, but we do have one coming in now here in game number 3. We've got Marines. We've got a medevac on the way. We have another barracks coming up from ByuN. ByuN's not going to mech here. He's not going to mech here against Stats. He's going to go with what has got him this far, and that answer is Marines, Marauders, medevacs, Liberators, and Widow Mines. Robotics Bay now warping in for Stats right here inside the main base, but here comes our sub 4-minute drop out of ByuN. It's just terrifying. So last time it was Marines and a Widow Mine. Stats shut that down so admirably. I gotta cut that section of that game and make it into a GIF because that was just amazing. Anyway, this is a Cyclone this time with Marines coming inside this main base. If there are Stalkers here for Stats, this could get bad, but no, it's Adepts. So it's 2 Adepts. Photon Overcharge. Oh, it did make Stalkers. All right, so going after those Stalkers. Getting out there, though, ByuN. He doesn't like that. There are 3 Stalkers and 2 Adepts versus his 4 Marines and a Cyclone. Pulls out. Just pulls back a little bit here. Might come in from a different angle a little bit later. Widow Mine here, buried at the location where Stats would want to take his 3rd base, so possibly to get a probe kill. No guarantee of that, though. Observer flying into the main base of ByuN from Stats sees the Liberator coming out and says, oh, if a Liberator joins this group, that's going to be especially dangerous for me. So he's got to be prepared. Couple Stalkers here warping into the natural base at exactly the right time to deal with this attempted drop from ByuN. It's just the game sense of Stats is on top of everything right now, on top of his game, on fire, whatever you want to call it. It's more Colossus out of Stats here. I mean, the Colossus did fairly well for themselves most of the game. In game number 2, they just couldn't hold out for that final battle when there were a lot of Marauders on the ground. All right, so unloading Marines and Cyclone here at the natural base. Stalkers and Adepts in a weird position. Adepts not able to all attack right now. Stalker forced to pull back. Adepts versus these Marines. It is some good micro Liberator setting up shop here while everyone's distracted and does get murdered, though, after killing a single Stalker. Reinforcements come in and the medevac boosts out for ByuN. So held reasonably well there by Stats, losing 2 Stalkers and 2 Adepts in exchange for a Liberator and 2 Marines. Probably fair. Probably fair. I mean, he didn't die. He didn't die. So that's all that really matters at this point in the game. Colossus waltzing down to the 3rd base location and actually trying to land these Marines to try to kill this thing. No, Marines by themselves are not going to kill the Colossus. The probe's going to die, though. Look at this. Yoink! Widow Mine gets the kill. ByuN very pleased with that one. Delays the natural base, kills a probe, delays a pylon. Observer comes in, Warp Prism dies, and ByuN picking up with his remaining Marine with Cyclone. He's going to try to do this. He's going to keep trying to harass Stats, keep him inside his base, keep his attention elsewhere other than on a macro. Extended Thermal Lance just now completing. There it is, 2-1-0. Boop, done. Stimpack finishing up here for ByuN at the same time. Boosted in is ByuN coming to the backside of this natural base. Oh, And actually getting a couple probe kills here. There is nobody to stop this from happening. Stalker's coming in a little bit late, but too late. ByuN has already picked up and boosted out. 2 more medevacs flying inside the main base and landing very happily. Marines and Marauders then backing out as Stalkers come in to defend. A little bit of a premature photo overcharge there by Stats, but if I see 2 medevacs coming at me from ByuN, I'm going to panic too. I'm going to photon overcharge all the things if I'm Stats in that situation. Did he lose that? Nope. This medevac is way up here in the top right corner for ByuN. Can barely see it on the minimap. Can you see that little tiny red dot? That's what that is. 2 medevacs unloading themselves at this gold base location for Stats. Potential 4th, but there's really nothing here now, obviously. Got a Widow Mine moving out for ByuN. 4 medevacs completely full of units. There's one empty slot for a Marine, but this is as doom droppy as it gets, man. Unloading here, gonna try to take down this 3rd base of Stats, which again is just finishing its warp-in. Ground weapons level 1 completing for Stats just in time. Ground armor level 1 coming in here in 4 seconds as well, so it should help him immensely to defend against this drop. That ByuN is attempting. Drop coming back down. No, reaction time by Stats is too good. Takes down the medevac, but the Cyclone's still alive, has 4 kills. Going after the Cybernetics Core, Colossus takes it out, and its friendly Marine is also dead. Medevac's trying to find places to drop. There are just Stalkers in all sorts of locations that make those medevacs very uncomfortable with the idea of dropping here. He unloads outside this backdoor debris field that leads into Stats' natural base. He's going to knock down the debris, which gives Stats plenty of time to react to what is going on. Colossus, ooh, Colossus can hit that from there. From on this high ground behind the debris, he can hit those Marines. And ByuN says, I didn't know that. Maybe he did. But he didn't know there were Colossus up there. So he decides to abort that attempt. We do have another attempt to drop here at the 3rd base. Gets cleaned up pretty handily by Colossus again. Colossus with 3 kills already, being pretty darn cost efficient. And the 3rd base has landed for ByuN. He's working on Vikings, a lot of Vikings, because you know what's good against Colossus is Vikings and Marauders. Those are good options. Always have been good answers for Colossus all throughout StarCraft 2. Back in Wings of Liberty, when Stalker Colossus was pretty much what you did against Terran, and the options for the Terran. Did I say for the Terran? Stalker Colossus for Protoss. The options for Terran were either Storm or not Storm. The options for Terran were either Marauders or Vikings. Those are the 2 ways you could go. I just like the Marauders better, just because they could stim in there, take out the Colossus, and still be useful against most of what the Protoss had, which was those Stalkers. Whereas Vikings, if they took down the Colossus, it was like, well, now what do we do? I mean, they didn't have that extra bonus damage against Stalker Mechanical, so there wasn't really anything that they could do, and they were mostly useless. Anyway, back to what is happening here. I'm not going to get confused with my speech. Templar Archives on the way for Stats. He's got Resonating Glaives coming up as well. Picking an Observer out of the sky is ByuN. Man, he's so good at spotting those. Hallucinated Phoenix sees exactly where the army is here for ByuN. ByuN does not bother chasing it. He knows that is a hallucination. Stats trying to go for a 4th base. Again, a Widow Mine perfectly predicting this for ByuN. Stats recognizing the threat. Goes the long way around to throw up pylons at either end of the space before he tries to throw up a Nexus. And I guess he lost his Observer. There are 3 on the field, though. 1 at the top of the map, 1 heading down to that 4th base location, and the 3rd one here to the left of the main. So Viking count for ByuN is really big. He's got 15 Vikings in the sky. Holy crap. Remember what I said about Vikings, though? Maybe not the greatest response. Warp Prism moving in at the 10-minute and 15-second mark, trying to land inside this natural base. There is nothing here to stop this. Adepts, good reaction time by ByuN, immediately retreating with those SCVs, not losing a single worker. That's kind of dead impressive. Actually, there we go. Lost 1 as the Adepts chase the SCVs down. They didn't run far enough away is the problem. They're getting killed a little bit here by these Adepts. Adepts walking into a giant minefield of Marines, though. More Adepts going after the SCVs here at the main base of ByuN. Natural base is happily mining once again, but 5 SCVs were killed in exchange for about, about 7 Adepts. Resources lost here as there's a ghost for ByuN. About 1,800 for the Terran and 1,700 for the Protoss. Man, these guys are evening up the score absolutely right about now. So many Vikings in the sky. He's got Ghosts, he's got Marines, he's got Marauders. EMPs should be very good in the situation. 4th base up and running for Stats now. He's got cannons here to defend against little tiny drops that are going to harass it for sure. He knows that's going to happen. He knows it is. Warp Prism moving out to the top, down the left side to see if he can do more damage to ByuN while he is out. And here we go. Marines and Marauders versus Stalkers. EMP thrown down. taking a lot of shields off these Stalkers. Colossus going for it. Is there Storm available on these Templar? Yes, there is. Storms! Going after these Vikings? No, actually just letting the Stalkers deal with them. The Colossus are falling very quickly to 15 Vikings. As well they should, with +1 attack as well. Dark Shrine just now warping in for stats. He's got +3 armor and +3 attack completing now. That is actually dead impressive upgrade timings. ByuN is sitting on +2, +2, +3, +3 is about a minute or two out. So he's a little bit behind on that compared to his Protoss opponent. So both players, again, taking a bit of a breather, just hanging out. Got Archons, got Stalkers, got Adepts and Sentries and Colossus, and I mean, more EMPs tossed down from an attack from ByuN coming from the left to the right here. Pulling back his stats does not like what he sees in this composition. ByuN likes what he sees, though. He likes it very much. I think Colossus production is entirely stopped here for stats, and indeed it has, as it should. Final Colossus does get taken out. And now we're just looking at Archon, Sentry with Guardian Shield, Adept and Immortal, which I don't know how great that is against Marine Marauder. The problem is these Vikings are useless unless they want to land, which they might want to do. I mean, if I was ByuN, I'd probably land them at this point. If you don't see any Colossus in the sky, go for it. Marines and Marauders getting blinked right on top of as they pull back. Adepts warping inside the third base of ByuN, but there are some Marines and Marauders left behind to clean that thing up. Attack still happening in the middle here. Good Storm on top of some Marines and Marauders, forcing them back. A Liberator gets a little bit lost and picked off by stats as it flies right over their army. Liberator count is currently 2 instead of the 3. 19 SCVs killed. Killed a lot more SCVs than I thought those Adepts did. All right, so Stats continues his campaign of war, like total war against the SCVs. Stats walking in to Liberator mode, Defender circles, and taking out both of the Liberators. Marines and Marauders and Ghosts trying to hang on for their lives against this army of Stats. EMPs thrown down as they can. Archons are not very good in the situation where they are mostly shields. Third base still locked down. More Adepts in there. Vikings going to fly over to the main base. I think they might just land and try to kill stuff at this point. Photon Overcharge does shoo them away, though. Stats map awareness is just so good. So good. I guess he does have an observer just outside that area as well, so he wasn't caught by surprise. It is 48 to 69 Harvester. Stats has 4 bases up. ByuN has 4 bases as well. His 4th is a planetary fortress here at the gold, which is going to help him fairly immensely. The question, oh, the what? Shadow Stride. Stats is going for Blink Dark Templar, you guys. Okay. All right. This could be good. We've seen little tiny snippets of this spell and this upgrade be good. Be good in professional situations here in Nation Wars. We saw it in Nation Wars. I don't know if I've seen any gifs of this happening in Katowice. At least not on Reddit. At least not somebody's bothered sharing out there, which they always, I mean, share interesting stuff. So I'd be surprised if they said that a Shadow Strike DT attack wasn't worth mentioning. But I believe it would be. 5th base coming up for stats at his gold base on his side of the map. We do have Liberator trying to attack this 4th, but there are cannons. Thank you for playing and goodbye. Liberator's gone. Stalker group trying to be picked off by these Ghosts here with EMPs, but getting fought back as well. Liberator count looking pretty good at 3. It's not massive and it's not super crazy, but it is pretty good. 5th base under construction by ByuN up along this left side. Vikings took out a Warp Prism that tried to harass it. Good luck with that. Warp Prism warping inside this main base in range of a missile turret, repositioning and then re-warping in here. Does ByuN, how's ByuN going to deal with this? More Adepts landing in the main, killing more SCVs. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Way too many SCVs are dying right now. More stuff here in the natural base. Nothing defending it. ByuN pushing forward into Storms. Liberators getting picked off in the sky as well. Adepts finally getting removed forcibly from this main base, thanks to Ghosts, who ended up getting killed, as I'm sure you heard there. Again, Archons just losing their shields. Templar really want to storm, but they don't want to get EMP'd either here. Stalkers blinking on in. On top of those Vikings, incredible micro on display from both of these players. APM currently over 400 for both Immortals, just walking right through right now. Storms on top of everything that is biological. Out of ByuN, trying to storm these Liberators as well. Doesn't kill them, it does weaken them and make the Stalker's job a little bit easier now. And bam, Liberator gone. Still 2 here, Archons. Archon count is 4. Ghost count of this army is 2. 1 does not have enough energy for EMP, and 1 totally does right now. More reinforcing Marines and Marauders coming in. Stats trying to get those Ghosts. Does kill a Ghost with an Archon. Loses the Archon in the process. Any storms available from these Templar? I do not know. Immortals, again, great against the Marauders, doing that extra damage versus Armored, but Stats bleeding heavily wins the battle, but ByuN decides to retreat as he has taken damage as well. So 5th base is up and running for ByuN. 5th base up for Stats as well. 69 to 49 Harvesters. Stats doing very, 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 very well. In the economy side of things, resources lost here, about 20,000 for the Terran player and about 17,000, 18,000 for Stats. So again, Stats is winning that battle, the efficiency battle, but not necessarily the entire war right now. Colossus back on the menu for Stats. There are still Vikings here, though. There are still 8 Vikings right there. And yes, 8 in total, 12 Marauders, 38 Marines. I guess it's with the 38 Marines where the Colossus would really, really make their worth known. Colossus is here with this army doing 15 damage times 2 with a range of 9. That's 30 damage per swipe. Splash. That really takes down Marines very well. As Will two-shot them. Will two-shot them with those swipes, which is why having more than one Colossus is very, very good. Just kind of dancing his Stats. He's picking off Marines that get lost and separated from the pack, trying to kill ghosts that overextend a little bit too much. Stalker's trying to kill this Bio, but Stalker against straight Bio is just suicide. It is just suicide if your Stats. Don't even go there, man. Don't even go there. Medevacs heading over this right side, looking to try to take down this 4th base of Stats. There are cannons, though. There are 6 cannons here. Not that that's going to be enough against Marines and Marauders at +3/+3, but regardless. Adepts here in the 3rd natural base of ByuN, again, killing more SCVs. Not quite sure what they're doing. Moving into the main base, there are no SCVs here to kill. Perhaps going after production facilities. I don't know, but here comes ByuN dropping on that 4th base of Stats, making quick work of it, pushing in his Stats. He can't save that base. He's going to try to come in and get rid of the army of ByuN. A nice concave here from the top side and the right side. DT's mixed in for Stats. Is he going to use that blink ability, that Shadow Stride ability? Blink DTs, man. In concept, scary. You don't see him a lot, though. 4th base completely wiped out. A lot of ByuN's forces are back at that 4th base. I don't know. The 5th base by ByuN is here on the left side. It is a planetary fortress. Stats going for it anyway. He does not care. DT's right on top of this thing, trying to repair it, but storms on the SCVs. It ends up falling. 3rd base by Stats under assault by ByuN. Again, these +3/+3 Marines and Marauders tearing through it. It is base race time. Is it officially base race time? I think it is. But ByuN does have a pretty good army to defend against this, and Stats really doesn't have anything back home is the problem. He has some DTs, but again, the scan is very good out of ByuN. Very, very good out of ByuN here. Colossus with 5 kills, desperately trying to save this thing, and actually ByuN pulls out. ByuN backs out. As Stats backed out, coming on back home, both players again taking massive shots to the head. 24,000 resources lost for the Terran player and 26, almost 27 for Stats at this point. Adepts continuing to warp into this natural, but nope. War Prism gets picked off by Vikings, landed Vikings, trying to get rid of Adepts. Actually, free Ghost kill, maybe. Can the Adepts get the Ghost? Not with the +3 armor, it can't. Nope. No, man, that Ghost. That Ghost, I guess, does a 100 hit points, which is quite a bit, and 3 armor. 3 armor mitigates a lot of damage. Production tab looking pretty sad for both of these players. It is 29 to 37 total Harvesters. Stats having that lead, which is oh so important. He does still have his 5th base. 5th base by ByuN is gone at this point. 4th base by ByuN is just about mining out. Expanding again is Stats in the top left side. Oh, Stats. Ooh, Colossus Archon, Stalker, Dark Templar. We haven't really seen that Shadow Strike ability yet. It does teleport the DTs. Oh, the EMPs on the Dark Templar, though. Did they blink out? No, they're dead. They are dead. EMP doesn't kill them. It just reveals them. Storm's doing very well against ByuN's highly, highly biological army here. Storm's good against everything here. Actually, that ByuN has. Is this more? Oh, actually, DT here at the attempted reestablishment of the 5th base for ByuN. Not going to happen. DT locks it down. DT kills Missile Turret. Hero Dark Templar, man, already has 4 kills. Missile Turret gone. SCV's trying to come in. No. Scans and Marines, though, pretty good in that situation. More Storms killing Ghosts here in the middle of the map. This feels like the Battle of Gettysburg, man. So many corpses on this field right now. They've been here forever, just battling. Here it is. Vikings taking in the Colossus very quickly there. Any Storms available? I don't see them coming down. Or EMP is just that effective. Stalkers and Adepts and Immortals actually pushing ByuN back here. Good positioning by ByuN. He was not retreating. He was just getting on the high ground is what he was doing. Zealots wandering in, absorbing a lot of the damage. Archons in the back, not able to assist. Immortals crushing through 11 kills and 10 kills each, and that's it What? ByuN with the GG. ByuN is defeated, and Stats is victorious, winning that battle with really just Immortal, Stalker, Adept, Zealot right there, and I guess a couple Sentries. That did help. But no T3 stuff except for the Immortals. I mean, no Disruptors, no Colossus, no Storms in that final battle. Either they were out of energy or they got EMP'd and the energy got knocked off of them. I couldn't quite tell what happened there, but again, no Storms, and Stats won anyway. He won that particular battle anyway. Just ridiculous. Just a ridiculous Game 3. Both players fighting for their lives as they were. You don't want to lose Game 3 in a best of 5. 165 Marines died. 28 Ghosts died. That's a lot of dead Ghosts. That's a lot of dead Ghosts. 33 Marauders, 12 Liberators, and 21 Vikings got destroyed in that game, along with 58 SCVs. Stats lost 39 probes of his own, 7 Archons, 6 Colossus, 9 Dark Templar, 99 Adepts. That's a lot of Adept, and 37 Stalkers, along with 2 Nexus in this battle. All right, battle's over. War is not. We'll be back with game number 4 in just a second. Welcome back, StarCraft fans, to our best of 5 series here between Stats and ByuN. Game number 5 is going to be on Abyssal Reef, the Ladder Edition, otherwise known as the Fishy Map. And in the top left side of the map, we have our red Terran player currently down 2 games to 1, down but not out. It is ByuN. That kind of rhymed. And in the bottom right side of the map, we have the blue Protoss player. It is Stats, up 2 to 1 on, again, probably the most terrifying Terran player on planet Earth right now. I would not disagree with anybody who gave ByuN that label. Oh, so here we are on the Fishy Map. All 3 of these games have been ridiculously hard fought. No one's taken an easy game here. ByuN in his win had to lose like 60 SCVs to do it. Stats has lost, I mean, Colossus, he's lost 100 Adepts, he's lost bases, he's just continued to fight back, continued to claw his way back into these games and come out 2 to 1. At the end of the day, I mean, Protoss fans have just got to be on their feet cheering for this guy right now, as I'm sure you are. Even if you're in bed, you got out of bed and stood up cheering as Stats won that last game, is how hyped that made you. All right, so here we go. Rex first. Out of ByuN, Gateway first out of Stats. Really nothing out of the ordinary. That is kind of what happens in these best of 5, best of 7 series, is players find what they like, they stick to it, and there's really not a whole lot of variation in openings in these games, but someone's going to prove me wrong. Someone will prove me wrong here. Expansion Nexus on the way for Stats already. SCV trying to knock down this probe for Stats. No, the probe is going to block the SCV as it tries to build a command center here at the natural base. So annoying. Usually we see this with drones, but SCVs can also be similar. Oh, he got it. Oh, ByuN. He found the millimeter of opening he needed. That was that's as close as you get. It was being able to throw down a base with a probe all over your natural expansion. That was gorgeous, gorgeous play. Out of ByuN. Has a single refinery. He is making a Reaper. Why did I think this would be any different? This Reaper's name, the 4th Reaper in a row, is going to be Raymond Luxury Yacht. Okay, that has to be a reference to a comedy of some kind. Maybe Always Sunny in Philadelphia. As he finds the scouting probe, Raymond Luxury Yacht with the kill. Woohoo! 1 kill on the board for our Reaper friend. Good start for ByuN. He needs to win this game. This is a best of 5. This is not a best of 7. If ByuN loses this, he loses 3 to 1 against Stats, and that just I just don't see it happening. Is what I don't see. It's just it makes no logical sense whatsoever. Again, Stats is very good, but ByuN is really good and a really good Terran player in a matchup where Terran is favored, especially at these high levels. So I don't know. I don't know what's happening here, but it is a Stargate opening for Stats. I'm liking this very, very much. This could very well be an Oracle. Do we have an Oracle name ready? I think we do. Let's see. Let's take a look here. This is the Reaper name list, which I was just at. Oracle. Oh, there is one. Okay, excellent. Just in case, there is one. Where's the Reaper? Here he is. Here he is. Raymond Luxury Yacht moving in. 2 Adepts, though, converging on this dude, chasing with psionic transfers. I mean, it's just... Sorry, man, you're toast. At least 2 shots hit, maybe a 3rd. Bam! You got your free probe kill. You got your free probe kill out in the middle of nowhere. You get nothing else, and you will like it. And you will like it, says Stats. Wouldn't mind moving out. Wouldn't mind drop without the drop. Moving out across the map by himself. I don't... Alright, so burrowing on this ledge. It is kind of in the flight path from the bottom right to the... Oh, he saw the Stargate. That's what happened. ByuN saw the Stargate, said, alright, there's an Oracle coming my way here. So I'll just put this Widowmine exactly where the Oracle's going to try to fly. And hopefully it will kill it. And he might actually kill it. This is going to be the Oracle. Prophet Velen After vision involving the Zerg being recruited by the Burning Legion, Prophet Velen has decided to take a more active resistance. Again. Does that count? We'll reuse that one. Sorry, Prophet Velen. That was such a great play by ByuN, though. Oh my gosh. Recognizing there's an Oracle coming, he throws down a Widow Mine in the middle of nowhere, but on the path between the two bases, and it actually works. And it works! For ByuN. Good heavens. Units lost. An Oracle and a Probe. ByuN has lost a Reaper at this point. He has a drop moving out, as long as Marines heading up across the top side of this map. So it is a double Widow Mine drop. So he is dropping with Medevacs this time around. There's a Phoenix here trying to pick... Two Phoenix trying to pick off this Medevac, while at the same time avoiding the Widow Mine attacks. Widow Mine does hit one of the Phoenix. Doesn't matter. Gets picked off. Medevac gonna die as well. What beautiful holding there by Stats. Marines wandering in to this third base, which is done for Stats north of his main. Are there enough Marines here to take it down? There are 8 of them. They don't have any upgrades whatsoever, but non-upgraded Marines can be very good. As I've told you the story many times of the guy who almost beat the Wings of Liberty campaign on Brutal with just unupgraded Marines. It was crazy. Anyway, Adepts are here to get rid of it, plus another Oracle is here to assist. Should we name this Oracle the Prophet Velen? No, let's save it. Let's save it, even though the Oracle does have 5 kills, which is pretty darn nice. Did he get a Widow Mine in here? ByuN did get a Widow Mine. Did he walk this in? I think he walked a Widow Mine in from the outside all the way up this ramp and burrowed it in the mineral line of Stats at his natural base. That's hilarious. Stats does not seem to be aware this exists, so this is definitely going to get a hit. How many probes it gets is... Oh no, he does know. He knows. Alright, so he sacrifices 1 probe. Splash damage from Widow Mines does not affect themselves, as it turns out, so even though that explosion was right on top of where he was, it doesn't matter. Revelation thrown down, and the Widow Mine picked up and murdered by a Phoenix tag team. Resources lost, 1,000 for the Terran, 500 for Stats. It's 55 to 46 Harvesters. His third base is up and running. He's been out-expanding ByuN. Have you noticed that? He's been out-expanding the Terran player here. ByuN is very pressure-heavy, right? So he can't expand as quickly as he would otherwise do so because he has to make a lot of units to keep the pressure up on the Protoss player. Stats is dealing with that pressure and expanding at the same time. I mean, I just don't even know what to say about Stats' performance so far. He is just absolutely killing it. Double Oracles trying to sneak on in. Revelation thrown down on every one of ByuN's army units, with the exception of 2 Marines that literally just got made. Okay, 4 Marines that literally just got made. ByuN says, all right, fine. Reveal my army. I don't care. Look at me go. Look at me walk right across the map with everybody revealed. You can see everything that I'm doing with the Widow Mines and the Marines and the Medevacs. Infantry weapons level 1 just finishing up. Resonating Glaives coming up at the same time. +1 attack for the ground units for Stats also on the way. More Phoenix in production. Stats, I mean, he's as prepared as you can get about this because he can see it coming. So ByuN, again, with his Marines, he's got 2 Liberators that have joined the party a little bit late, and then he kind of checks it out and backs out. He scans, he sees a ton of Adepts. He sees exactly 11 Adepts. He sees a Phoenix Cloud. He sees 2 Oracles ready to go as well. Might try to pick up these Widow Mines that are kind of trailing. Oh, no, another Revelation. Another Revelation. ByuN says, I hate this spell. I hate this spell. It lasts for 45 seconds. Is it 45 seconds? Pretty sure it's 45 seconds. Where are you? 43 seconds. 43 seconds in-game is just an eternity. It's an absolute eternity here. All right, so what do we got? Marines, a couple Marauders, mostly Marines, 4 Liberators. Ooh, this is a very strong 2-base attack here out of ByuN. Marine count looks very good against the many Phoenix that Stats has. We saw him do it in game number 1 with Phoenix, though. Adepts here. It's an Adept Phoenix play, which, again, we've talked about. We've talked about being good, but good for how long is the question? I don't know. Liberators setting up shop, all 4 of them in Defender mode. Adept's going to walk right on in here. Widow Mines will fire. Marines will fire as well. And Adepts, there it is. Adepts finishing the transfer. Phoenix flying and immediately focusing down the Liberators as fast as they can. Time warp there as well, so nobody can run away. And look at that. That was an absolutely shellacking by Stats. Wow. I mean, some Marines did manage to escape here. They're still free inside the main base of Stats. It's not dead yet, but man, a lot of Marines evaporated there. Widow Mine fire might have had something to do with that. Phoenix taking out another Liberator. 4 dead Liberators. Marines and Marauders coming down. Marines dropping here at the side of the third base. Has killed 6 6 probes so far. The medevac gets picked off, and the Marines are easy for the Adepts to kill after that. 127 and 102. Total supply. ByuN is retreating. He's pulling back home. It is 4,700 resources lost for the Terran to 45 for Stats. So, I mean, yeah, Stats handled that pretty well. It wasn't a complete crushing, though. I mean, Stats lost a lot of stuff as well, but he is looking great. He's got 30 Adepts versus 12 Marines, 9 Marauders, 2 Liberators, and 2 Medevacs, along with 6 Phoenix on Stats' side with 2 Oracles. Throwing down that Revelation. Stats likes what he sees. He likes this high Marauder count. He likes the Widow Mines that are on the ground. It's time to finish this transfer. And there it is! Widow Mines getting picked up before they can fire. Amazing concave. Once again, SCVs from this third base that ByuN landed, trying to defend here. At the same time, it's ByuN retreating back to the safety of his natural base. More Marauders and Marines coming down to assist the Adepts. Sonic transfer in before the supply depots can be lifted. Adepts ready to finish that transfer, and there it is! Right on top of the Marines and the Marauders. Phoenix are lifting and killing everything they can see, everything in sight. Once again, SCVs forced to defend here at the natural base now. It is 26 dead SCVs. Stats is absolutely on fire. Can he win this series? Can he take game number 4? The Oracle's in the party as well. 5 kills. 0 kills on that one. A Liberator desperately trying to kill these Phoenix. No. Taken out by the Phoenix instead. Natural base in shambles for ByuN. He's continuing to make Marines and Marauders and Widow Mines, but the Widow Mines get picked up and destroyed. The Oracle's killing everything else that is on the ground right now. SCVs from the main coming out down the ramp, trying to help, but it's just no use. There are Stalkers. There are Adepts. ByuN is down 114 to 22. Total supply. Stats is in complete control here, and that's the GG! GG out of ByuN. ByuN is defeated, and Stats is victorious. Ho, 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 ho. Stats gets the 3-1 victory against ByuN in the semifinal round of Katowice 2017. Good gravy. What an absolutely dominant, inspiring, impressive display by Stats. I've never seen anything like that. Where Stats he essentially wins games 1 and 4 using an Adept Phoenix play, and he wins game 3 with Colossus. And Immortals, game 2, he does a lot of damage with Colossus Immortal as well, with some Disruptor mixed in. I'm not sure if they actually did anything, but they were there. They were there. I mean, just the macro, the control, the micro, the decision-making, the lifting the Widow Mines while taking down Liberators. The Phoenix were just MVPs. The Phoenix were MVPs of this for sure. Adepts did a lot of the work on the ground for sure. But Phoenix, with their control, with their speed, with their good use against both Medevacs and Liberators, greatly weakening the strength of ByuN's army and allowing the Adepts to do what they needed to do. Just gorgeous. Gorgeous stuff from Stats overall, and that's going to be it for the series. Quick resources lost tally for game number 4. What is that? 13,000 resources lost for the Terran compared to only 8. Only 8 out of Stats, 63 Marines, 17 Marauders, 8 Liberators, 46 SCVs, and 18 Widow Mines died in that game in exchange for 9 probes, 50 Adepts, 7 Phoenix, and an Oracle. Again, hats off to Stats. I did not think he had this. I really did not think he had this series, but it just goes to show this is why you watch StarCraft 2. This is why you watch, because you don't know who's going to win. You don't know. Surprises happen all the time in even the smallest matches at the smallest levels. And that's why it's such a great sport, a great esport, and a great game. And I love casting it. Oh, all right. So that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void series. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit the subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.